Hey guys, welcome back to another real fishing video. First off the top, I think I'm gonna rename the channel. I thought it was like a really cool, interesting fishing channel name at first, until I started searching around. I was like, oh, okay, literally everyone that has a fishing channel, it's either somebody's name, Real Fishing, like spelled real, like that's the catch. No pun intended. But yeah, so I'm gonna rename it something. So. Um, yeah, just my thoughts on the channel as is. I'm still obviously figuring out what I want to do. I know these are all phone videos, but I think I'm going to get a GoPro and focus mainly on kayak fishing. That's what I've recently fallen in love with. I mean, I don't want to, make the channel to one anything specifically. It's just going to be whatever I find interesting about fishing, and obviously that eventually, as more people come in, you guys want to see. So yeah, what I want to talk about today was some of my favorite lures and baits to use for the, kind of transition period of summer into fall. Now, I'm not the in-depth, I'm not the tips guy. This is just the stuff that I like using, that I've had success with. Some of the stuff I haven't tried, some of the stuff I've killed it with. So we'll get into the baits in a sec, but first I want to show you guys this. This just came in the other day. So this is the Shimano, Shimano Bait Runner 6000 OC. So I'm going to pair this with a St. Croix Premier musky rod. I was looking around for a reel that was going to be heavy duty enough to put on, like at least kind of 65-pound braid is probably what I'll have it set up with. And just something that can really handle, if we do eventually start catching some muskie and some big pike and stuff. That's, again, going back to the kayak, that's why I got the kayak, was so I could go to all these cool spots and not just fish the same river, or if I want to go somewhere else, it was kind of a pain in the ass with the boat. So yeah. So yeah, I can't tell you much about this. It looks cool. It's super smooth. Really, I like this size, a little bit bigger than what I'm used to, but it feels really nice. And then obviously with the bait runner, I think this is the switch, I might be wrong. So they get it, and you just use this, I think, to let the line out. Free spool on, yeah, and then as soon as you want to set the hook, you just reel it back. And yeah, really smooth, really cool. Haven't used it yet, so I mean, not too much I can say. Other than that, so for live bait, what I've actually been using right now is anything I can catch just in front of the house here. I live right on the river. So I've been fishing with a lot of like baby bluegill or some baby rock bass. I know technically you're not supposed to, but they're everywhere, so I think it's okay. But yeah, so just been crushing it with those. Lots of largemouth recently. Just 2 nights ago, I think I got my biggest one ever, so super stoked about that. But yeah, I've been using these line through bobbers. These are super handy. Basically allows you to select the exact depth that you want without because my problem with the clip-on ones before was, I'd cast out, and if I wasn't deep enough, you got to clip the bobber on 10 feet, and then you can never get a good cast with it, was the problem. So really liking these. These are Northland light bite balsa floats. They work well, and they're good. I've also been using the Phil ones, no complaints. So for the bobber stops, I know there's a million different things you can do. You can literally just tie a piece of fishing line around. I like these. They're just so easy. The Eagle Claw bobber stop with beads. It's just, you put the tube on right where you want it to stop, and then get rid of the tube, pinch the line, then you're done. And cut the ends off. So yeah, those are cool. I picked up some drop shots. I haven't actually used these yet, but I have been killing it with a Senko setup, which I want to use with these. The last couple weeks, I've caught probably 80% of the fish that I've got just using a Senko on a worm hook. I don't have it in front of me, but and these tungsten black worm heads, worm weights, whatever you call them. So these look really well. They look really good in the water. It looks like a big worm kind of swimming around. And the problem with fishing with a plastic worm is you need some weight on it somewhere, right? Or it's not just going to float on top of the water and not really look natural if you're casting it or dropping it or whatever. So these are awesome. The worm weights, love them. What do we got next? So this was in my last video, actually. I talked about these Mimic minnows. I've only used them once, and it was a good day to catch bass. I know bass will eat anything, so, you know, you could throw a piece of bread on there, and I probably would have done pretty well, but these are awesome. I really like them. The one thing I will say is they're not super hardy. I caught about 10 fish on them, and I think they were all reasonably good size. There was maybe... there was a couple 3-pounders, couple 2-pounders, and everything else was pretty well over 1 pound. But the one I was using was chewed up by the end of that. So, I mean, they're not going to last super long, but these will catch you fish. I was using a smaller version, but I like the look of these ones better. So I'm excited to give them a try this weekend for sure. Now, the one thing I've been actually struggling to catch, which might seem funny, is pike. Because I know a lot of people see them as like a nuisance or a garbage fish or whatever. Maybe not a lot of people, but some people do. And they just kind of attack and eat anything. I find whenever I have caught a nice pike, I'm always fishing for bass, and I'm never set up for it, and they always break off. You know, just seems to be how it goes. But I do want to go to some spots, and I'm definitely going to film some videos on those. Maybe the Rideau River, or I'd love to try the Madawaska again. There was another like spillway spot I was looking at. I think it was near Brockville, something like that. But yeah, just with going for either big pike, or, you know, if I'm going for big pike, I'll probably throw some musky lures into. But here's what I picked up. Apparently these are the best. Again, they're obviously still in the package, so I haven't used them yet. But I really like the size of these. The Mepps. I know the Mepps number 5. I have it with me here somewhere. It's like touted as one of the best, like, pike, or I think it's actually a musky lure, but whatever it is, it's like it's one of like the go-to things, like a Senko worm kind of that just everybody seems to have in their tack box. So I saw these, and I thought they looked pretty decent. I like the setup on them. I like the action on the spinners. Yeah, for going for pike, I think you can't really go wrong. So remains to be seen, but yeah. So basically, as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of everything. But what I want to focus on is the you know, some sort of mimic minnow, like a paddle tail. I think is really good at this time of year. And I think live bait. Obviously live bait is always the best, but yeah, just any, like, I've actually been having a lot more success on smaller minnows than I got some pretty big chubs that day I did go out to the Madawaska, but they got eaten, but I didn't catch anything, so I think they just got kind of chewed, and there just wasn't anything big around. But yeah, I've had real good success on just medium-sized chubs and suckers and that kind of thing. So stuff that mimics that, in the name, mimic minnow. Stuff that mimics that is good with a paddle tail. I mean, really, this time of year, you can use anything and you're gonna be okay. Like, I find it's just the last few weeks have really been awesome for fishing here. The one thing I haven't been throwing a lot recently is crankbaits. That's something I like to do. I don't know, like, I prefer using a crankbait if I'm out on like a bigger boat, on like a bigger body of water where I can really get it down deep, or I can cast them really far. Just the spots that I've been going to, smaller rivers, you know, super weedy, it just hasn't really been a great setup for them. Yeah, you can use them. I mean, it's kind of similar to the minnow, but I've always preferred soft bait over hard baits. I feel like, you know, you just get a better hook set. They bite it and it doesn't seem fake. That's just my opinion. And they swallow it, and you get a better hook set more often than not, in my experience anyways, using a soft bait over a hard bait. But yeah, so other than that, what else am I using? I think that's pretty well it. I did pick up one of these, the old 5 diamonds. So like I said, eventually gonna be going for some big pike here, so excited to try this out. This is you know, another kind of pike staple, if that's what you're into. But yeah, so still waiting on the new rod to come in. It should be here next week. And then I'll show you guys some of the musky lures and stuff that I've been collecting. I've got one set up. I really like the mini Medusa. I think I showed you guys that one in one of our last videos, but I'll show you my tackle box too. So this is where I keep everything. So this is not a full in-depth what's in the tackle box. This is just what I like to work with right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, then maybe we could do a whole one just going over everything, because I have a bit of a problem when it comes to buying fishing stuff, but it's a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what your favorite lures or baits, or just what you like to fish with this time of year as we transition, you know, the beginning of September, from going from summer to fall, where it gets a little bit cooler. It's exciting. Best fishing time of the year for sure. But let me know what you guys use typically down below in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.